According to Katt Williams, the dark ages are when people who tell the truth are attacked. Welcome to this week's Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blind Intelligence. I am your host, Miss Ronnie, and I always seek to give you exquisite cranial repertoire. These last few weeks in the entertainment industry has revealed some hard truths, and bad attitudes and true intentions cannot be hidden because we can see. Now, I normally try not to, straight out pinpoint somebody, but I was watching a video of, it was like the cast of The Color Purple was getting together for like a photo op or whatever. And to me, it seemed that Oprah was kind of like trying to not stand by Taraji, but not be obvious with it. And it's like she came up, and I don't know what happened before that because I cannot say, and sometimes people only show little snippets to try to make you look bad. So, I do try to give people the benefit of the doubt. But from what we could see, she came up, she didn't speak. Taraji was looking in the air to me, like she was sending up a prayer like, Lord, just let me get through this because we all have to do it. Some kind of way, when the other cast members were arriving, she kind of scooted around so she would be on the edge, for which it might not have meant anything because she might wanted to let the cast have the actual shine. That could possibly be so I don't know. But what made it to me seem like it was something else because Fantasia gave Taraji a look and she looked back like, what's going on? She was like, girl, that's how it looked. Although there was no change in the facial expression or anything. It was just the look in the eye. Now, I usually try to be politically correct, but the truth just has to be said. I feel like in that situation, and I really hope that I'm wrong, that Oprah was being a little petty without being obvious. And that's really called throwing rocks and hiding your hands. I think about the thing with Monique, and I'm not saying that I agree with Monique on everything because Monique has done some things that I don't necessarily agree with, but I do think that she has a good heart. But with all of this that's going on and the way that people are looking at you and everything, you have to be conscious of your intentions because people can see. I also feel like even with all the press of no, I wasn't talking about Oprah and what they were saying and all the speculation and everything, I just kind of feel like, for me, Oprah, don't nobody have to kiss your butt to get along with your face. And you can't punish people because I looked at some of the other interviews of how she's made other people feel. I listened to Ludacris. I listened to Toni Braxton. And even with wanting to walk away, no, she didn't necessarily say Oprah. And there is a production company, so I don't think that you can put everything on her. But people taking the information that they have gotten in the past and applying it. And people don't have to give a discount on their services if they do not want to. Just pay them what they're worth and everybody can make money. One service that I provide is resume creation for people looking for better jobs. And I also do EPKs for musical artists. And I have had people to try to lowball me, although I have what you need. I would turn down working with people who like to play with me about my money. So I feel like if we come to an agreement or whatever, and do you feel like I'm worth this? You want me to write you a resume? I have several degrees. I have did this right here, blah, 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 all of this. So if you like what you're hearing from my qualifications and I can back it up, then don't try to lowball me. I had a situation. This was when I first started, when I was going to work with an artist that wanted his music registered correctly, and I mean everything. And then he had the nerve to tell me, well, I'm trying to get this down as low as possible. And I was like, you do realize that I have to make money too, right? So when people are that greedy to where they don't even want to pay you what you're worth because they're worried about how much more they can have in their pocket, and you're not thinking about you're not going to get it without what I got, you're going to have to pay me, or you're going to have to pay somebody, or you're going to stay stagnant. And I think Oprah felt that The Color Purple was big enough that the actors should have just been grateful just to be a part of like this historic Black history event, because that's really like what it is. And I just feel like if you pay people fairly, treat people how you want to be treated, even though, yes, there's a business model and we're for real and professional about this, there's a way that you're going to treat people. I also heard about not having security and not having drivers, and I mean just being out amongst the people. Even though this was a movie about, I guess, when Black people didn't have as many rights, I will put it like that. That don't mean that you revert back to that thinking and not treat these people like people, whether it's the production company or whoever. But now I'm going to move on. Number one, I have always been a Katt Williams fan because he was the one said that haters are your fans. And if you don't have anything, I can't remember how you put it, for haters, then you need to have 16 more by the summer. And I was like, yep. And I have been, every time I feel like somebody was coming at me, there was my Katt Williams quote. But Katt Williams, I mean, I just love him and I always have, like I said. And he was correct about the joke stealing because I remember watching it when he did it. And when Cedric the Entertainer did the joke, I would remember saying, why did he steal that joke? It ain't the same man. I remember that was like they looked totally different. I was like, that's not him. And I remember watching Hanging with Mr. Cooper. That was my show. I was little. So I remember the man who pop locked before Cedric. And I remember Steve having the bald spot with the fro. I remember that. Now I have listened to the responses, and I would have to say that some of them were quite asinine, especially from Steven Jackson. Oh my God. Why would you? Okay. If that, I don't know why if you come on my show, none of that shit would have went down. Because you have relationships with some of the comedians. And I was thinking like, dude, exactly what do you think gatekeeping is? I thought that Kwame explained it in the good old boy system, and y'all keep saying that it don't exist, but everybody looking and can see. And Katt ain't the only one who said that, and neither is Kwame. People have been talking for years, and like he said, it's the 2024 is gonna be truth. I'm all for it. Katt said Faison was a liar. I'm gonna keep it nice. And Faison, to me, his response confirms it for me. Why try to do wordplay that comes across as if you're lying? And I'm like, I listen to it, and I normally don't even listen to Charleston White, but Charleston White said, that's not how you deny something. He was talking about the ludicrous situation. But I'm like, with all of this, with comedians, we expect the response to be funny. Funny, not you getting mad. No, my joke. Ooh, my joke. Okay. But you're not saying that he's lying. I don't know where he got it from. He was talking about a car and I was talking about a spaceship, which means that you're missing the point. With the Faison, that was Big Worm, right? And this is the thing. All of y'all were in Friday. And I understand the truth coming out and people telling their sides and everything, but don't mess up the legacy for Friday because y'all want to sit up and argue when all you have to do is just be a man about it. Now, Steve Harvey. The response, but not the response. I think that it's pitiful that Godfrey giving the response for you and you walking around like, I don't have to answer these people. So is the arrogance and the ego that they say that you have, is it true? You don't have to say anything, and action's still gonna speak. And it may not come across like that. And I can't remember the one that made the response, Cedric Entertainment, talking about it ain't gonna go down like you think it is. Well, Cedric, it might not go down like you think it will either, homie. Huh? I have heard too many good things about Katt. Too many good things about Katt. Cedric, I'm sorry, sweetheart, you stole that joke. Steve, you did too. And when you do come with a response, it needs to be appropriate, Steve. That I'm all love and I'm blessed and I'm this and I'm... No, respond. Tell me why. Tell me how. Tell me why you think. Tell me why not. Tell me how Katt got it wrong. Tell me how you're right. Give me some proof. Show me some video. Show me some text messages. Show me something. Show me something on your old pager. I hardly ever agree with Charleston Wright, like I said. But, Luda, what was that? It came off to me as I can rap better than you. See? Charleston White said, no, you don't make a jingle. This was in response to Ludacris. That he was to tell that man that he said a GD lie. You know, I ain't going to say that about it. But he was a lie. But nobody is saying that except Mike Epps. He said some of it is true, some of it's not. Mike Epps. And I got a question. Why insert yourself talking about you need some promo too? I need some promo too. I got a tour coming up or whatever it is. I like Mike Epps too. I mean, so I would pay to go and see him. Mike Epps, I understand you want to jump in the thing, but sometimes you can just pay some promo. Now I want to speak about Funky Dineva. And then most times I don't agree with Funky Dineva, but you cannot deny that he brings the spice of life to even when he's hosting and talking about or even trying to understand. I feel that Funky Dineva is a talented individual. I do feel that, although I don't agree all the time. It's, again, another issue about pay. And people have to understand that a big name does not necessarily mean that you have big money. And as with artists, sometimes it's better to build your own platforms and stay independent. No, I don't have a big following. And yes, there are gatekeepers at every level. Sometimes you have to break out past some people. Some people put in extra effort to keep you from getting ahead. And that to me is a form of gatekeeping. You can't be in my clique. And I'd be like, yeah, but I don't want to. But I did submit my show to Fox Soul. And I was told that they wasn't accepting new shows at the time. It was cool for me because I'm satisfied with the content that I create. But I would like to say that I did get a response back. And you know how I do things. I went straight to the head of the company and sent him an email. I skipped everything else, and he directed me to who I needed to go to. And they chose not to take Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blonde Intelligence on Fox Soul. But I am still a fan of Fox Soul. I'm not mad because I got a response back. And even, I knew that it was a long shot and it was okay with me. And even with the liquor company, I do a lot of drinkware and stuff. And I even contacted them about having a partnership. I have nothing of major essence to offer them, but those are some very nice people. They contacted me back and they told me that at this particular time, that wasn't the type of partnership that they were looking for, and that's cool. But I will go back to them again when I get things on the level that I want to get it on. But I kind of got off subject, but that's okay. It's still about, making money on your own and being independent in what you do. But Ice Cube did give a good peace talk. I would call it a peace talk. What I have to say is, Ice Cube, I wrote a pitch for the last Friday, and I have sent it to Cube Vision, and I have sent it out to other different people, and everybody liked it. And I'm just waiting to hear back from you, Ice Cube, on what I wrote for the Friday after next. Now, all these other big name companies is getting back with me, and even though they're telling me no, they're telling me no. Come on, Cube Vision, tell me something. Anyway, I would like to have just a little, I would like to have a takeaway for artists, because that's the reason why I do the show. I'm not like a celebrity gossip thing, but things that happen in the industry that you will probably encounter as an artist at some point in time, I will talk about. But the takeaway is, what does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? And you have to keep integrity in your actions and not doing business behind your management team or consulting with others about confidential business matter or dropping releases without consulting with administrative publishing, not being consistent and trustworthy. Even though you can talk a good game, these types of things right here show who you are. And some people will do anything for fame, or as they say, clout. And you just have to realize, what are you doing when no one else is looking? Anyway, you can catch Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blonde Intelligence on all podcasting platforms, streaming live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitch, or on my website, www.blonde-intelligence.com. You also can order an Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blonde Intelligence tumbler, a tray, coffee mug, t-shirt, and they all are handmade and designed by me. I also do customs. Again, that's blonde-intelligence.com. And artists, check out my services for musical and recording artists. And Blonde Intelligence is a registered trademark. Bye.
Hey girl, let me tell you about this podcast.
Girl, everybody has a podcast these days.
But this one interviews new and interesting indie artists. It's called Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blonde Intelligence.
Really? Where can I find it?
It's on all podcasting platforms, streams live on social media.
What'd you say it was called again?
It's called Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blonde Intelligence.
Girl, I'm gonna have to check her out.
Give it a check, girl.